show. When did movement become the measure of progress? When did movement become the measure of progress? Today, we're going to get into what happens when relentless motion is just fear dressed up in ambitions, clothing. So you know what time it is. We gotta dance. Let's dance. Let's dance.
Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, Sheryl Whitaker. It starts with Joy Live. A year ago, I would have said this was impossible. So here we are together. Leadership doesn't have to be cold to be confident. That was beautiful. Joy isn't a nice feeling. It's your operating system. If I delegate, am I still necessary? That's the real fear underneath the control.
I'm a protective strategist, not a deceiver. I'm calling my union rep.
That's Beatrice. That's my inner elephant. She's the joy killer who lives in all of us.
The squad is the jury, love, and they're ready for the truth.
That's Atlas. He's a voice of grounded possibility.
We aren't building a life for their applause anymore. We're building it for freedom.
Thank you, Zola, for showing up. Left-hand corner, QR code. We'll bring you to It Starts With Joy.live. We started an origin campaign here at Mornings in the Lab Network, posting about the place that made us. My producers, my mentor, Keith, to my crew on the Eve and Anthony side, my husband, Dwayne. Hi, Ingrid. Welcome back, Susie. Oh, thanks, Mildred. This week, just name it. Audit your decisions. Every Wednesday morning squad. Fear loss, joy won. It's time. Let's dance.
It starts with...
Woohoo! Let's dance. Let's dance. Hey, squad. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Do me a favor. Give me a shout out in the chat if you can see me. I'm getting something saying that we're getting a black screen. So do me a favor and I see, hi, Susie, hi, Leanne, and Boricua is the one who's saying it's coming over as a black screen. And good morning, babe. Let me just give me a little hello and let me know that we are, I can see you now. Okay, good. Thank you, Boricua. It's so funny. We were just talking about this backstage, Mildred, my guest Sara today, and I, about how you guys, the squad, how you are so a part of what we do. And good morning. We've been having some tech issues. So just want to make sure that we're all good. So thanks for being part of the team. And Leanne is saying, see you, but blurry. Well, by the way, as you can see, my lighting is not the best today. I'm in Miami. I am in Miami. And the reason why I'm here this morning, squad, is because I'm attending the NAMAD conference, which is the National Association of Minority Auto Dealerships Conference. There are over 1,000 folks from the automotive industry here, and they're giving me a whole lot of love, which I really, really appreciate. And as a result of that talk that I did a couple of weeks ago for women in automotive in Austin. And so thank you, Dwayne. You're saying it's a slight blur today. So we are on Fountain Blue Wi-Fi. So we might be a little bit blurry today, but thank you guys for sticking with us because, hey, you know what? It is Wednesday and it is 8:30 again, and we are on episode 28. I can't believe it. We are 4 weeks into cycle 7. And so we're at the end of this arc, which means that this week we are in motion, joy in motion. And so if you've been here since week 1, this is the week where you find out what all this work we've been doing is actually for: naming it, deciding it, committing to it. And today's the week we live it, move. So Beatrice is already stirring a whole bunch of stuff up in my head, as you know. Atlas is holding things down. Zola's going to bring out my incredible friend today, Sara Reece. She's building AI tools for franchises and small businesses and squad. She said something about ambition that I have not been able to stop thinking about since I heard it. And so I know you're going to stick around and get it going. Oh, babe, you're saying I'm still beautiful. Thank you so much. So my card says drop a word in the chat, but you guys are already doing it. Hi, Ingrid. Good morning. Good morning. Everybody's alive in the chat today. I thank you guys so much for being here. So let's go. It starts with Joy Live right now. I'm so happy that you're here. Good morning, Beatrice and Atlas and Zola. If you're around, say good morning.
Everyone says slow down. Funny. The second you stop moving, someone hungrier takes your place.
You're not afraid of slowing down, B. You're afraid stillness might ask whether the race is even yours.
And if it isn't, what, we just admit we built a whole life around running?
Maybe we let Sheryl tell us what happened when she finally asked where all that speed was taking her. Sheryl, all yours.
just love watching Beatrice twirl around in her little pink tutu. She's so cute. Yeah, where is all that speed taking us? Where's that speed taking me? It's been crazy. So there was a season of my life when I was always looking toward the next thing, like the next role, the next promotion, the next accomplishment, next. And from the outside, that looked like ambition. Like, wow, Sheryl, you're always going for it. You're always going to get it. Some of it was, if I'm honest, but now I know that a lot of it was fear. You guys know I talk about the F word a lot because I rarely stopped long enough to ask myself the one question that actually mattered. This is it, guys. Do I actually want what I'm running toward? Woo! I knew how to move, I knew how to achieve, how to perform, but what I hadn't learned yet was how to tell the difference between moving forward and aligned motion. And those are not the same thing. So what I keep coming back to is that somewhere along the way, I started treating movement itself as proof. So proof that I'm serious, proof that I'm building something, proof that I care. And it's the same for you if you think about it. If you're moving, well, of course, if you're moving, you must be making progress, right? And if you're still, then you must be falling behind. But when did movement become the measure of progress? That's the question I kept asking myself as well, because I don't think it did, not really. I think we just stopped asking the other questions like, is this right? Is this ready? Is this aligned with who I actually am and what I want to build? So these questions take time, and time, time feels like the enemy when everyone around you is sprinting towards the next thing. I know I would watch, especially when I was in corporate, and it happens to me sometimes now as I'm building. I have to keep reminding myself, take your time, Sheryl. You're new at this, you're learning, you're growing. Anything that you're doing that's pushing you forward is a good thing, and run your own race, basically. Run your own race. So a lot of times we're just judging ourselves against other people, and we're asking, all these questions to ourselves, and we have to stop. We have to stop asking, is this right? And start asking, what's next? Right? We do that a lot. So an organization does this as well. A person does this. And from the outside, it looks like ambition, but Dwayne was on last week and we talked about hustle, the human behind the hustle and all that drive and momentum. But sometimes relentless forward motion is just not ambition at all. It's just fear dressed up in ambition's clothing, because fear is easier to admire than it is to sit with. Yes. Oh, hey, Matthew. Hey there, my friend. Good to see you. Matthew is on every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Kindness Rising. Hey, my friend. I'm so happy you're here. All right. So to finish this out, I want to be really clear about what I'm not saying. So I'm not telling ambitious people to slow your life down. That's not the shift we're talking about. The shift isn't from ambition to complacency. It's from automatic acceleration to being, you guys know I love the word intentional, right? So it's about intentional movement. There is a difference between moving because you can't stand to be still and moving because you actually decided this is the direction. One is running from something, the other is running towards something. And the neat thing is, and the tricky thing is, they can look identical from the outside, but trust me, they feel so different on the inside. And so that's the reason why something today's guest, Sara, said really caught my attention. She works, you'll hear all about her, Zola's going to introduce her, but she works with organizations navigating AI transformation, and she sees companies doing exactly what so many of us do personally, racing toward what's next before anyone stops to ask, wait, are we ready for it? So that's where I want to sit with you today. Not how do I do more, not how do I move faster, but when did I start believing that motion was the same thing as meaning? And what would it look like to move because I chose to intentionally and not because I was afraid to stop? Let's keep going.
Great. So now ambition needs a background check before I answer an email?
The urgency feels useful, B.
But notice what's driving.
Fear rushes. Joy can move without running from anything.
Joy move?
I thought joy was the part where everyone sits down and breathes.
Sometimes. Sometimes it dances, cooks, and surfaces beside a boat. Sheryl, show us what joy looks like in motion.
I saw Beatrice and Atlas going at it there for a second, and I was like, wait a second, who's talking? Anyway, yeah, so we're going to get to this. Oh, my friend Natalie is here. Hi, Natalie. She said, relentless forward motion is also exhausting. Yes, girl, you are so right. And you just need to, gotta sometimes breathe and celebrate where you are. Celebrate where you are and all the things that you have accomplished. And so that's the reason why I love doing these JoyBeats, because the JoyBeats gives us a chance to celebrate some things that are bringing us joy out there in the real world. And so I've got 3 beats for you today. And don't forget, squad, this is a reminder, send me your beats. I've been getting a few of them drips and drabs, but bring them in. I want to see it. I want to see it. Okay, so the first one, have you caught these? Is Ben and Zara, this dad and daughter. They have been absolutely killing it, and now they're on national television. So if you haven't seen them before, you'll know who I'm talking about when Mildred shows the clip. Go ahead, Mildred. You can find the clip.
Come on, we got DJ Cool and Duck.
Oh my God! All right, give me a shout in chat if you have seen Ben and Zara. I mean, they started. I forget how old she was when they started doing this lip sync thing with songs, but now they've been with The Rock. I've seen them with all different celebrities now, and they are just absolutely out there killing it. And every single time I watch them, especially Zara, like her face and everything. So Ben and Zara, shout out to you. Thank you so much for bringing all of us joy. And I'm going to just continue to enjoy and watch them completely. So that's a good one. Okay. You guys know food brings me joy. And this one, I call this one chicken parm porn, because if I was a meat eater, I would be so down with this clip. So, okay, let's watch this one. I love this. This is
Oh, yeah.
It's so much food.
Oh yeah, Dwayne, they are fun. Oh, here we go. Good. Is it gonna run? Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
It's so much food.
Wow. Wow. Oh, Bariqua, she's like, my mouth is watering. Okay. So did you see that? That is food porn right there. Okay. So the chicken is on the bottom, and then they come with a pan of hot cheese, and then they slide the cheese right on. I just thought that was amazing. Not as amazing as Linda from Cheesecake Factory eating Linda's fudge cake that my niece Vanessa sent me weeks ago. But if I was eating chicken, woo, that would definitely be it for me. Okay. Yes, Dwayne, I know you love that one. You love your cheese. That is awesome. Okay, I've got one more, and I picked this one because I call this one a whale of a time. And I picked it because Dwayne and I we love to cruise. And one of our, our absolutely favorite place to cruise is Alaska. And I'll show you why. So go ahead, Mildred. Hopefully this clip will run a little bit faster.
Descendez, madame, descendez. Photoshop!
Oh, Mildred, run it again. We missed it.
Descendez, madame, descendez.
Wait, keep it going, Mildred.
Descendez, madame, descendez.
There we go. Oh. Okay, Mildred, you got it. Wow. Yeah. Woo. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad it finally ran. Thank you, Mildred. I appreciate you for running it over and over for me. If you've never been whale watching, it is so cool. Dwayne's calling Alaska, he calls it God's backyard because it's actually absolutely one of the most beautiful places that, I mean, everywhere you look, our planet is just absolutely gorgeous. We have to take good care of our planet. But the whales, when you go whale watching, you just wait and wait for a whale to just like, you just get excited about just seeing a tail or even a slight breach or bubbling when they're feeding. But I mean, that whale came all the way out of the water and practically did a backflip. And so that brings me absolutely so much joy. So that's it for our JoyBeats. I hope you enjoyed them. Hey, if you didn't enjoy them, send me some of your beats so I can see what brings you joy in the traditional sense of the word. All right, let's keep going. And it's finally time to meet my guest, Sara. So Zola, time for you to go to work, girl. Let's bring out my friend. Let's introduce Sara.
Sometimes the loudest pressure doesn't tell you to quit. It tells you to keep moving before you've asked where you're going.
More can look like ambition. Faster can feel like progress, while your values quietly ask whether this pace can hold you. Sara Reece knows that question personally. Her career didn't follow one straight line, and neither did the insight she carries now. Her path included journalism, environmental research, and professional dog training. Then came operations and technology.
Today, Sara co-founded and leads Helping Service Businesses Operations. She has designed automation systems for franchises, small businesses, and Fortune 500 companies.
She wrote The Practical Path to Operational Automation. Her conviction is clear. AI initiatives succeed or fail.
That belief reaches beyond business. Sara also asks whether the path she's building still matches her values.
Retention isn't ambition versus complacency. It's automatic acceleration versus intentional movement, with values helping decide what comes next. In business, she asks whether the operation is ready. In life, she asks whether the pace still honors the person carrying it.
Sara brings ambition, alignment, and a question worth holding. Sheryl, Sara, Joy Squad, let's welcome Sara Reece.
Sara.
Oh. Hey.
Hello there. Good morning, lady. How are you?
I am doing so good. Good morning to Sheryl. Good morning, everyone.
Where are you coming to us from, my friend?
I am in Utah, which...
And what time is it?
Right now, it is, look at it, it's 6:50 a.m.
Oh, it's early. It's early.
No stress. We had, I have, my business partner is based in Bangkok. So I actually had a 4 a.m. meeting my time with him just because of time zone differences. So yeah, so early mornings, ironically, I used to hate them, but now they are my life. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. I feel so much, I feel so much better. I always forget, my guests are from everywhere. And so to be here this early in the morning, I really appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you so much. Welcome to Starts with Joy.
I'm so excited.
I know.
Anyways, no, I love the show. I love watching it. It's been an absolute joy. And I've had my down days. I definitely will turn on an episode and just remind myself it's okay. Get those JoyBeats in, just breathe. It's going to be all right.
Thank you. I thank you so much. So squad, I have to give you a little background. It's not in Sara's intro, but Sara and I and Dwayne and Sharon, my sister Sharon, we all met in Miami. And that was in April? Was
Yeah,
that
it was
April?
April.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we were at the Miami Business Show. I think that's what it was called. It was a small business expo. And Dwayne and I were setting up like the backdrop and all that kind of stuff. Well, actually, really, Dwayne was setting it up and I was just, directing. And Sarah, so Lisa,
Elisa, yeah.
Lisa, I always get it wrong. Well, Lisa and came over to us and it was just kind of like because your stuff hadn't arrived yet, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I think our stuff arrived like 15 minutes before we had to leave. Like it's so late. So yeah.
You were so calm about it. You were so calm. And so Lisa came over and it's like, can we help? And then you came over, right?
Yeah.
And that was it.
That was it. We just became friends.
Yeah.
My favorite one was sneaking into CVS because we were like, we're going to buy plants. We're going to buy contraband candy because we weren't supposed to bring candy in with us. And then as we get there, Sheryl, Sharon, and Dwayne are there with their plants and their contraband candy that they're all buying.
Yes, and it's so funny because Sharon wasn't there originally when we met, and we saw you, Alicia, and then your sister was
Naomi,
there.
yeah, yep.
Right, Naomi was there, and we were like, "Hey," and we're hugging and we're everything, and so then we said goodbye, and Sharon's like, "Oh my God, you didn't tell me that you knew folks who were going to be here." I'm like, "Oh no, we just met early. We just met," and she's like, "What?" I'm so confused.
But it was so much fun. I remember being excited because both of us had bonded over the fact we were waiting for our sisters to show up. And
yes,
then I was right. Like, and we were like, your sister arrived, so did yours.
And that's been it ever since. One of the things that I absolutely love about being like just experiencing life, if you just allow yourself to be open to it, is the amazing, incredible people that you can meet along this journey. And you are certainly one of them for me. So I really appreciate you being here.
Oh, right back at you. It is a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. So Sarah, Zola tried to do a good job, but it's always better when it comes from the person. Talk to us. Tell us about who you are and what you're doing and why I find you so fascinating.
Well, a little bit about me. I mean, fascinating. I once had my best friend's mom growing up. My brother went to go get me. We were doing something and he's like, it's time to go. And she's like, oh, I'm so sad Sarah's leaving. And he's like, well, and we love her. And he's like, well, I have to love her because I'm related. Why do you love her? And my friend's mom pauses. It was like the longest pause of my life. And she's like, well, she's unique.
It's like, is that a good thing or not?
Know,
right?
Like, how are you really feeling about me here, Rhonda? But I look at it and my life has been unique. When I was 18, I thought I was going to become a performing musician. I played tuba, which sounds funny, but I love it. But things changed. I went into radio and then I got into journalism and I worked as a journalist for a while. And then something shifted and I went into aviation for a bit. Then I came out of aviation. And it's crazy because as I go through this, like, life happened. I had a good friend once, she's walking through. She's like, how did this happen? I walked through each situation. She's like, so life happened and you had to find a way to adjust. And I was like, every time. That's what's happened. And so I smile because my sister Naomi finds it hilarious. If I once made her my full resume with everything I'd ever done. I think she has it somewhere, but she thinks she's like, how did all this come to be? But I look at it because a lot of times something throws something at you and you have to find a way to adjust. You have to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
But with today's and so it's been so much fun. But like with today's topic that we were talking about, like, yes, you can move forward and run, but that's not necessarily where you want to be going. I always love, there's an analogy, I've used it for years, which is, yes, if I start at one position and I'm on a giant cruise ship and I make an adjustment, like just a degree to the right.
Yeah.
Then in 6 hours, I'm going to be further off course than I ever meant to be. I'm still moving forward. I didn't go this way. And one of the big things the last 5 years, up until we started Workmind, my coworker, myself, and our COO all worked for a company, and we worked with Fortune 500 companies, helping them automate their internal systems. And I would be in those meetings, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, well we want to automate this," and I'd be like, "Okay, why?" And like, well, because we can't. And I'm like, but you shouldn't. Like, this is something that, no. And then a couple of years ago when OpenAI came out and the LLMs really started making it large, people like, well, we want to use LLMs. And the same question would come out to why? And people would be like, well, because I'm like, no, because they have their place. They have things that are wonderful that they can do. They're very effective, but you also have times where you need to either just build a very good software, very deterministic is the term that gets used in the tech world, where this has been coded to do this. And then sometimes you still need a person. There are times to find this. That is part of the automation process as well, is not just throwing it to AI or an LLM. It is also knowing when to have a person involved or when to have just traditional coding involved. And so it's kind of fun, but it's also, it runs into that of, just because I can run 1,000 miles in this direction, that's not the direction I want to be going. And I mean, Sheryl, when I read your book, I told Sheryl this, and I think I put on a post on LinkedIn once. I read her book for the first time after the Miami show, and I was on a plane with lots of people, and I am not a crier. And I read her book, and I just burst into tears. And my friend Elisa, who was with us and she helped us with the show, she was there and she knows me. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I feel so seen, because you do this, you go into these corporate worlds, you do these things, and there's so much culture and things that you get caught up in. And that fear really does drive, like, you do not want to be replaced. You do not want to be thrown out in a way. And sometimes you work with these people who make you feel that you are very replaceable.
Oh yeah, especially today.
Oh yeah, especially today. Like, oh, well, we can do this. Or, I mean, I'm going to be at a conference in Denver next week. And one of the conversations that we're having there, and I'm on a panel for, is discussing the role of automation. Because a lot of people think that they're like, well, we can just replace all our employees. And like, you can't. You need them. But you can amplify what they do. You can make things better for them, for sure. And you can make it so that one person can do what it used to take 3 people to do, but you need to do that responsibly. You need to make sure it's set up correctly. Like, there's 2 contrasting examples. I like to talk to people. So when I got stuck in Dallas, I'm sure most people here who've flown through have been laid over in Dallas at some point or the other. And I had to go get a hotel room, drive with my Uber driver, and we're talking, and he was finishing up his master's degree and something. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. He's like, yeah, I used to be in tech. I was like, really? Because I actually own a tech company. Talk to me. And he's like, I hate AI. And I'm like, further interesting for me. Please continue, explain. And he was a senior developer, and he'd been working for this web company, and their senior staff had been presented this something tied to one of the LLMs on I don't know exactly which product it was, but basically like, yeah, you can get rid of half of your staff today. And look at how great this is. And so it was supposed to do all this coding. So they fired half their staff instantly. And the other half who stayed on were now trying to learn this new tool. They were trying to take on the workload the other half had already been doing, plus what they were doing on top of it. Now, the tool did not deliver the way they thought it was going to deliver. And people started leaving, and it was a nightmare. I honestly do not know if the company is still in business. But to me, that was, no. You want to slow this down. And when I be responsible, that was somebody who they said, let's just sprint for it. And they got off that 1 degree and they went somewhere they didn't mean to go. On the other hand,
No, I gotta, sorry to interrupt you. I have to ask you this question. Are you so because of what you do, I mean, you help organizations, you help companies to bring this technology in.
Yeah.
Are you as a founder and CEO, are you alone in your approach and your mindset when it comes to, don't run, let's walk and maybe jog?
In my experience, when I talk to other professionals who are in my mindset, where I'm at, it is almost a 50-50 split.
Okay.
And where I find the split is, so when I started before LLMs in this space. We were using NLU, Intense, bunch of other type of, I'm trying not to get too nerdy or technical. And then these came in, and the people who are like, well, we're rushing to do everything, are the people who came in with the LLMs, because they are really caught up into the theory and the excitement of what can be.
Right.
The thing I find is that a lot of us that started before then, what we're seeing is, yes, we understand the technology, but we also understand its limitations. There are things it reasonably can do, and there are things it should not do right now. And in 5 years, there's still going to be things it should not do, because it's not just a capability question in my mind. There's also an ethics to it. And there is a balance between the two. And what I have personally seen is that the companies who balance that, where they're like, yes, these are the capabilities and these are the ethics, those are the ones who are applying it and actually thriving with it.
Oh, okay.
When you jump into the let's replace everybody mindset, you have a problem. One of the things like we run into, like with my company Workmind, we have an agent that we've built that it's not a rip and replace. It overlays whatever proposal system your company's using. And it for like a home service company, like painting or like flooring. And it allows an estimator just to go through the job and say, okay, here's what I'm seeing. Here's my measurements. Here's what I've got. And because it's able to be configured by headquarters, they know it will prompt them like, hey, you forgot to let me know, like, what's their crown molding? We need to make sure we have that for this, or, hey, you may have missed this as well. But then the estimator does their job. They go through the house, they get the measurement, they talk to the person, they build the rapport. The agent captures everything they're saying. It builds out their proposal the way it's supposed to be in their actual proposal system. Okay. And what that does is I had one guy who we've worked with, who he was going home for 4 hours after each bid, and he had to go through and make sure everything was done correctly because of how complicated it was. But now he, instead of doing 1 to 2 bids a day, which is what he could max handle because of what he needed to do to build out the bid properly, he can now do 4 or 5 bids a day, and things are handed and the bid is given to the person before he leaves the house. And what it did is, rather than replacing him, it's amplified him. It's made it so he can do his job. He is great at building rapport. He is great at knowing the details he needs to look for. He's got that. But now he can be amplified and he can do a lot more in his job than he could before. And that's, in my mind, that's where we start running into it. And especially when it goes to how fast can we run? I mean, you've got these things going on, and AI, I love it. It's fantastic. I always have to be careful because, are you anti? I'm like, no, I love it. I use it all the time.
It's my business.
It's my business. In fact, yesterday I was building one of the things I've done is software engineering. I was like legit building a plugin for my Motion that I use to GPT so I could connect the two. And it was great because it helps me be more on top of things. I am prepared. I know what I'm doing for each and every meeting. Everything's up to date. I make sure I'm not missing any commitments I made to clients or to my partners I work with. I'm like, and that's great. But the next question I always have to ask, and it's very important, is why am I doing what I'm doing? Why does this need to be automated? And there were some things I was smiling with my girls because I've got 3 girls, 5, 7, and 9. They're cute.
Oh, yes, they're cute. They're beautiful.
Oh, they are. And they're adorable. And they are feisty as all get out. But I was talking with one of them. I think it was my 9-year-old, because she likes to ask all the philosophical questions. And she basically was explaining, one time she's like, well, if you can automate like doing this and this, Mom, can't we just build something that automates my homework? And I turned to her, I'm like, well, we could theoretically, yes, but why? And she's like, well, I want to play more. I'm like, okay, I understand you want to play more, but what happens when you need to actually do it on a test? And she's like, I'm like, you won't know how to do it. And she's like, oh, and so she's like, oh, I need to. I'm like, yeah, so let's not automate your homework, please. And I mean, I love it. It was one of these great moments, but it sounds so fun and childish. But then the other thing I run into is sometimes we do have moments. I know when we were building out our company, there's a lot of really cool things like with Codex and with Claude that I can do with coding. And the discussion where I had with my CTO is like, well, do you think we could just do it all with this? I'm like, no, we can't. And the reason why is because I need legitimately to be able to go through and check it. I need somebody who knows the code and understands the code and can quality check the code. I've got another super good friend of mine. He and another one of my past coworkers have a startup they're doing, and he and I were talking about it. He's like, yeah, we do that. We use these automations and this code building, which is fantastic with these LMs. But he's like, but what we do is we actually review every piece of code. And then we make adjustments to it and then like get it put in. And he's like, and we can build so much faster than we used to build.
Right.
But he's like, But again, we don't want it building stuff we're not supposed to be building, which does happen with those, by the way. And he's like, and also it has to be the right quality and it has to do what we need it to do. And I mean, that was discussions when we started our company over a year ago, was how we were going to approach this. And so we do have a mix of like, yes, our engineers are able to build faster and more effectively, but we still have to have the engineers there to do the job. And
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And so it's one of those things, but it's again, taking the moment to slow down and know where you want to go. Because that is the cool thing in the AI field and in the automation field, is we now have technology that makes it so I can go from 0 to 1,000. But that means it's even more important to be, as you would put it, intentional with where we are going.
You can't go 0 to 1,000 doesn't mean that you should go 0 to 1,000, even though you can.
Yeah, even though you can, it fails. If you don't do it right, you don't slow down enough to just make sure you know where we're going. And I love what you said with the ambition, because I'm like, no, I would say I'm a very ambitious person. And I know you are as well. And it's one of the reasons I think the two of us drive so well. But there's also that moment of it's something that can drive you and can be fantastic, but there has to be some moderation. And there has to be a moment where we check it and say, is this really just because I can go this way? When we first started the company, we were looking at funding options. And I had a conversation with one of our raise rounds with a company who said, well, we can raise you guys $2 million. I know we can get you at least that. And I said, no. And it was interesting because I said, well, why would you say no? I'm like, well, because what we've done is we purposely have done smaller rounds. Because it's made it so we've been more accountable for what we've done with our funding. We've been more accountable for how we're choosing to use the funding. And it's forced us to be smarter. And I smile because that's almost counterintuitive to a lot of other startup owners, like startup founders I've known. But I've loved it because it's made us so that we've had to be smarter. We've had to make sure we're moving in the right direction. We've had to validate every step of the way. And to me, that is the responsible choice to make. And we're still moving ridiculously fast. How quickly we have 2 products live on the market right now. And we have a third one that's in design. Like, we are moving very quickly and very effectively. But again, it's very intentional. And we're making sure that while we're going 0 to 1,000, we are pointed in the right direction. And it's hard.
Sarah, where's fear coming here? Because on the show, we talk about fear all the time. Fear being the, kind of like the opposite of joy. So where do you think fear is driving this need for everything to move faster? And how is it showing up for you in your world, in your own personal world and business?
So with that, like, fear is there. You have new releases coming out all the time. In my world, one of the things that I always smile with AI is to a large point, it is a marketing gimmick, is you'll have these LLMs come out and like, oh yeah, we can't release this yet because the world's not ready. And I'm like, okay, the first time I might believe that, but every other month this is happening. Thank you. And from a tech side, I wonder if they're using it to delay releases because it's not quite ready yet. But this is a great way to put a public spin on this. But there are people they're worried about, like, is it going to take over? And that fear is there. And then there's also the fear of, well, if I don't get on the latest technology, if I don't use the latest model, oh no, we're going to be outperformed over here. Or did we build this right? Did we build the right thing right now? And this happens. And it's there's reasonable concerns, like, are we at the top of the field? Are we where we need to be? But again, I run back and always ask the question, what are we building and what value is it adding? And the interesting part with that is, if you have that piece, if you can take a moment and slow down and say, it's not that I need to be at the top of the precipice. I don't have to have the latest and greatest technology. It's nice to have it, and I'm all for it. But if I'm asking, what real world problem is being solved? Where is this value? And then, I mean, I've worked with a lot of companies that are like EOS, operating systems based, and other things like this, where they have pillars that they set up. I know we have pillars on the show that we focus on. And one of my biggest checks you run into is, are you making these decisions out of fear? Because if you are, you're going to ignore those values that you've set.
Oh my gosh.
If you are aligned with those values, then it is not a fear-driven decision. And that is a lot of times where I find, like, what are the values that you're working for? What are we trying to accomplish this from a very high level? And if it's not defined, that's where people get scared. And I mean, I've seen companies dump millions into automation projects that they had no business doing anything with.
Oh my gosh.
But it was out of
so crazy.
Because it was out of fear though. And they was like, oh no, we have to do this because I'm like, and I remember being on the other side where I was in as an advisor and I was saying, this is not a good choice. You do not want to spend this money here. There are better options and things that would be worth putting this money into. And them ignoring me because they were so scared. And then $4 million later, I'm so sorry, we should have listened. And I mean, it's that type of a thing where you're like,
that alone is scary.
Yeah, it is. Well, and what scares me too is that they just throw that money around, don't think about it sometimes. But it is crazy. And I look at it, I'm like, we just need to take a moment and just really evaluate, like, where are our values? What really matters to us? And then on a personal level, like, how is this helping me become who I want to be? I love 5-year plans. And I also think they should be revised every year. Like, this is where I want to be 5 years from now. But then you have a moment where, like, once a year, you need to look back and say, did I learn something new that makes me want to reevaluate this? Like,
wow. But it's so funny because as I was listening to you, everything you were talking about as far as, organizations and them making decisions from fear and not slowing down, it is the same exact thing for us as human beings in our life, no?
Yeah, no, it is. It is exactly the same. And it really has, what's been funny is my experiences over the last several years have really made me sit down and reevaluate, why am I doing what I'm doing? And why am I putting effort where I'm putting effort in? And I mean, I've got 3 girls and I love them. And it's one of the things too, that we have those conversations with them. And it's been, my 9-year-old was really upset over something the other day. Somebody made fun of her. And she's like, well, they said I'm not good at this. And I laughed because this is the child who got perfect scores at piano competitions at age 9, who's also learning to play the flute, does horseback riding, is learned to ride bareback.
What?
And is a good soccer player and does all these things. And I sat back and I'm like, honey, first of all, you don't have to be good at everything. Second of all, she's my oldest, so. And then I'm like, second of all, like, you need to listen to the voice in here, not the voice out there. And let's also kind of slow things down a little bit. Like, what is important? What does matter to you? She's like, well, that doesn't really matter. I'm like, then why does it matter what they say about it?
Oh my God, it's so pragmatic.
So, my poor kids.
It's hard.
It is hard, but it's one of those things that, like, let's take a serious hard look at things from where our perspective is, because personally it matters the most is what is that inner value coming from, and what is driving it, because fear should not be behind the wheel there.
Thank you.
Yeah, it needs to be values and strengths, because I mean, I look at some of the hardest times in my life. I've done some crazy stuff, but this is a good story for you. I was I love the Teton. I worked in the Teton National Park for a long time and doing a lot of field research, lots of fun stories. But I decided to do a hike through Static Peak, and usually it's a 2 to 3 backpacking day excursion.
Okay.
I didn't have 2 to 3 days, so I did it in 10 hours.
Sarah.
It was nuts. It was so much fun though. But no, it was 16 hours, not 10. It was 16 hours. Let me not be too cool here. It was 16 hours. So I got like at 4 a.m. and got back at like 11 p.m. at night. And I remember I got to the point where I had hit the summit of Static Peak. And I had been moving fast. Like, I was ahead of schedule. I had seen all these cool things. I had these really cool pictures I had taken. I had an encounter with a moose, which is like the scariest encounter you can have. They kill the most people in North America. But it was amazing, absolutely wonderful. And I hit the top of this peak and my legs just about went out from under me. And the trail is like legit like this wide.
Eek.
And I just remember having my mind, and maybe this is something too, is I remember having this thought of, if I do not slow down, I will plummet to my death. So I had to make myself slow down and go down, and it got a little sketchy, and I might have started singing some church songs to keep myself
keep yourself together.
Keep myself together, get through this. But you know what? I look back at that moment, and it was one of the most beautiful moments of my life. because I had gone fast. I like, if you look at it from almost a roadmap of life, I had that ambition. I had pushed hard. I had done great. But I also learned that during that time, to be able to finish that ambitious thing of completing this entire insane trail that usually takes people 3 days in one day, I had to make myself slow down so I could succeed. And I remember I got down off that really sketchy portion, and I got back down to like almost like this valley, and that valley I'd hiked in that place multiple times because it was part of where I was doing research. And it never looked so beautiful to me as it did as soon as I got off that. And I went fast again. But it is those moments where sometimes in order to to actually accomplish that ambition or those goals, or to stay true to what we need to do, we do need to take that moment and slow down, maybe sing some church songs to ourselves or something to keep ourselves together. But we have to be able to do that in order to really succeed. And I think that's also part of it. I mean, with AI, it's the same policy, or automations. We need to slow down. We need to make sure we know what we're doing, and then we can go full throttle. And sometimes we need to take a moment and reevaluate, why are we up here? I mean, I definitely had some reevaluation where I was clinging to the side of the cliff. Why did I choose to do this again?
Why am I doing why am I here?
Why am I here?
Wow. But my friend.
It's good. Yeah.
Guess what? We
had time. Yep, we are.
Girl, we were at time 5 minutes ago.
Oh, sorry.
Don't be sorry. I told you this was going to happen.
I know. We knew it was going to happen.
You know what that means?
Yep.
That means you have to come back.
I'm happy to come back anytime.
Oh, where can folks find you? This was such a great conversation. I always learn so much whenever we talk, so and you were getting a whole bunch of love in the chats. Ingrid was saying, I love that this is a thoughtful interpretation of how AI can be used in a very real way. And Marikwa said she absolutely loved this conversation. You're getting love all throughout the chat, throughout our conversation. So I just want to let you know that.
Oh, thank you, everyone. And back at you guys. No, LinkedIn, just Sara L. Reece. You guys can pull me in. I'd be happy to talk with you guys. Anybody who's got questions or just wants to talk about AI or just taking a moment, just let me know. And I'm happy to have conversations and talk with you guys. But Sheryl, thank you so much.
Oh, I think that Mildred put up your site there for everybody. So it's beautiful. You're doing beautiful work. Thank you for not just being an amazing friend, but also for sharing your brilliant mind with us, Sara. I could tell you easily, I'm sure I'm not alone, that the world definitely needs not just more, from the AI perspective and technology, more leaders like you who are being responsible and intentional about all the amazing, amazing tools that are at our fingertips, but then also just from a personal perspective, how you're raising your daughters and the thoughtfulness that you're putting into the world through those little human beings. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Sheryl. And it is a pleasure. I smile because a lot of the intention, the last several months, I've learned to be more intentional because of watching this show and reading your book and some of the other wonderful people I've met. So I really do appreciate it because I think you get in the world what you pull out of it.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you. Much love, my friend.
Yeah, you
we
too.
Will talk soon. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll talk to you. Have a great day. Get some rest.
Oh, I will. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Sara. Good to see you, my friend. Woo, good. Ooh, just saw another comment. Oh, so good. Oh, hey, Monique, thank you so much. Yes, slow down and sing church songs. Wow. Sara, I just knew that she was going to be amazing, and she did not disappoint. She is an absolutely exceptional person. And like I said, I feel much, much better about AI and where we're going with it when we know that there are responsible leaders out there like Sara doing their thing. So thank you guys for sticking around for that conversation. And let's keep going. We got this shift and a couple more things before we're out of here.
Beautiful conversation. I'll reflect on it later, right after I say yes to 3 things I don't even want.
Not today, Beatrice. Let's think this through. That's how fear keeps moving, B. It answers before you've had time to decide.
So now every opportunity needs an interrogation?
Every opportunity? You seemed pretty certain. No, just notice who's driving before you move. Sheryl, show us how to put that choice in motion.
I just love you, Beatrice. I love you, girl. You keep me going. That is for sure. And yes, I absolutely, that is so real because you guys know Beatrice is in my head. And there are times where I'm like, yeah, I need to slow down. But to say I'm going to do that after I do these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things. So we got to be really intentional and mindful about it. That's where the work comes in. And so that's where the shift is so important. The joy shift is so important because that's the tool that helps us to keep thinking about where we are, what we're doing, all the way from being aware to putting it in motion, because joy in motion is where we really figure out whether or not all the work that we're doing, whether or not it holds. So the shift for this week is not act on what you decided, believe it or not. It's something, more specifically, the next time you feel that old pull, the one that says, move now, say yes, chase it now, before you've asked whether it's right, ready, or aligned, that's the moment. Not next week's version of you, this week's version, and the actual instant that the acceleration, that feeling that you have to move comes in. So pick one recurring moment this week where you feel that automatic pull, a request, an opportunity, a decision that seems to be moving, whether you chose it or not. When it hits, do one thing, just one thing. Promise yourself before you put it in motion, name out loud, even if it's just to yourself, whether you're about to move because you decided to or because you're afraid to be still. Then choose a response from the seat you took back last week, not the one fear already halfway drafted. So this is not going to go, trust me, everything that I share with you guys as far as the shift goes, I am working on myself. So I do not get this right every single solitary time. I am absolutely a work in progress. Okay. But that pull toward automatic motion, it doesn't disappear because you notice it once. It's not backsliding. But every time it comes back and you catch it anyway, that's not failing to stay committed. That's the seat just holding. But you just have to watch for it. So again, just think about what it is you want to move on and just be intentional about it. Think about it. Ask yourself that question first. Like, what am I going towards? Why am I going there? And then if it feels good, then move. But sometimes, and for me, it's probably about maybe 30% of the time I find where I'm like, you know what, maybe let's just not for a second and hold on. And that's it. That's the shift this week. Homework is really, really simple. It's just kind of like getting into your head a little bit, wrangling around there with Beatrice and fear, and then letting Atlas drive. That's it. Plain and simple. All right. We're going really quickly here. So let's shine a light. I got my tissue just in case I need it.
You said notice what's driving. What if stopping lets in something you've been trying not to feel?
Then the choice isn't to fix it, B. It's to stay present when love and grief arrive together.
Some people leave, but what they gave us keeps moving through the room. We honor that by remembering them whole.
Sheryl, take all the time you need. We're here with you as you honor Donal Boyce.
All right. So you guys know I was talking to my mom this morning. I'm like, okay, I might do some eye tinkles today. So let me just have my tissue ready because today, squad, we are doing a special shine a light. I want to shine a light on somebody who has been on my heart. So on July 20th, we lost someone that I personally have loved for, I realized when I counted, more than half of my life. and his name is Donald Boyce. And Donald Boyce, he was 77 years old. And if you know Kool and the Gang, then you know this voice, even if you never knew his name. He's the booger booger, get down on it. No. All right, I'm not going to sing it, but Mildred, you can stick with Don's face. Okay, so he's the boogeyman, the one who told the whole world to get down with the boogie and shake it around. Oh my God, Donald, he was just absolutely amazing. That energy, that spirit. It wasn't just performance, it is absolutely Don. And Don is my sister-in-law, Kathy Purifoy's long time. They've been together for over 50 years. And so for as long as I've been a part of the Simmons family, from my first marriage, Mark Simmons, and everybody, those of you who know and love me, you know that he's a part of our lives. So we celebrated Don last week. This past Saturday, Dwayne and I went, because Dwayne loved him too. And it was the coolest thing. Oh, there's Don when he was a little boy. It was the coolest thing because it was one of the most joyful days. Dwayne and I were driving on our way home from the city after the memorial service, and we just looked at each other and we're like, oh my God, that was like the most beautiful day. It was just a beautiful, absolute day. And it's interesting because you realize that joy and grief can absolutely exist together at the same time. But people, like the family, we were all together, people we hadn't seen in a long time, like since Thanksgiving, really. Just reminded me of Thanksgiving. Laughing, dancing, we were telling stories, one right on top of the other. And, of course, there were tears and everything, but that's how you know that someone lived really big, where the room, like, we just couldn't stay sad all the time because he wouldn't have wanted that. So to Kathy and Don's kids, Kieran, Jamal, and Nolan, love you, and holding every single one of you, not just today, but then tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And Don, thank you for more than 30 years of friendship, laughter. I mean, we were just laughing about all the things. He was just so funny. And that unmistakable boogie. We are going to keep dancing exactly like you'd want us to. And Mildred, can you play that clip? Can we get that clip of Donald on Soul Train? If we can. Let's see if it's going to work. Okay, looks like it might not work. Okay, well, Don, thank you for the memories, my friend and brother. We love you. We love you. Let's go ahead and transition on to the next. We're almost done, guys. Thanks. Oh gosh. All right. So I got through saying my own love to Don, and yeah, so I think, Mildred, we're gonna show that clip of me on Instagram. Let's show that if we've got it. Play. I'll just talk about technology today. Here we go. Okay, Mildred, you can stop it. That's me, caught completely off guard, fully committed. And honestly, everything we just talked about with Don, I think that's exactly the point. Don would absolutely have loved that clip, and he would have definitely made fun of me. I posted on Instagram because I got caught dancing and enjoying. But when I mean what I say, that fear, loss, and joy won, sometimes joy doesn't look profound. Sometimes it looks like getting caught dancing, not great, to Billie Jean in your kitchen and laughing about it instead of being embarrassed about it, right? You cannot be embarrassed about it. That's what the whole show is about. It's all about honesty and just enjoying all those like moments in life and finding moments like washing the dishes and dancing to keep you going. So let's keep doing that. What'd you say here, Donna? Amazing individual, great show. Thank you for bringing us another person. Thank you, Donna, for being here. Sara makes AI less scary and more exciting. Donna, yes, she absolutely does. That is a beautiful way for us to thank Sara for being on the show and being honest about, you know, what she feels about where we are with AI right now, because I thought it was really important to have her on because she just has such a beautiful spirit. She's full of joy and she has a very balanced approach to something that really is can be for a lot of people right now, reality wise, a joy killer, a joy stealer with AI and layoffs and things that are going on in our world that are just heavy right now. I can't thank you enough, Sara, for, as Donna said it here so beautifully, making, bringing an incredible perspective and making things a little less scary for us. And squad, thank you as always for showing up today. We're doing this live, and so things go great and things don't go great. And that's all a part of why we love doing what we're doing, and you are a part of it every single solitary week. Really, really appreciate you too. And of course, mine starts with Joy Team, the ones you don't see back there, Mildred and Melissa and Jimmy and everybody on the mornings in the Lab Network for making it work. We just really, really appreciate you believing in the show. If you're not already following us or subscribing, please do. YouTube, where you'll find us live on LinkedIn and on Facebook, of course. But please go ahead and tell a friend and follow me on Instagram. I'm Sheryl Raphael Whitaker, and we're building something great. We're trying to really get it out here when it comes to joy. Every Wednesday morning at 8:30, we are going to keep it moving on because fear lost and joy won. Let's keep dancing. I love you from Miami. Mwah. Bye. See ya.
So we're done? Great. I'm taking the emergency snacks before someone asks whether they're aligned.
Not today, Beatrice.
Not today.
B, you ate them during JoyBeats. You said they were aligned with your nervous system.
She aligned every crumb, baby, then folded the bag like it signed an NDA. This studio has cameras, witnesses, and absolutely no snack confidentiality.
She's right. Until next time, Joy Squad, keep dancing.
This place is amazing.
I know, right? Look at Beatrice go.
Keep dancing, everyone. This is great. Feeling it.
Yeah, I love this vibe.
Just working here. Carry on.